Welcome to FAIA and to our FAIA assessment service offering. Thank you for joining us for these couple of minutes and for allowing us to explain how we can help you and your business review a FAIA file before you submit it to the tax authorities. A FAIA file is an XML file containing information on the business, which is exported electronically from the information system. It is then used by the tax authorities to carry out VAT audits on the business in a more effective and cost-efficient way. The risk of providing a non-compliant file or an incomplete FAIA file is that the VAT authorities raise questions that may lead to more in-depth audits or adjustments in the figures. So if you are a business falling under the obligation to produce such a file, you will want to verify the contents before giving it to the authorities in order to minimise the risk of it being non-compliant or incomplete. So we want to help you facilitate this process. In a first instance, we will sit down with you to talk about the specific aspects of your environment. We will then test the FAIA file. The first set of tests will validate the format and structure of the file. The second will focus on the data consistency and quality, and the last set of tests will assess the VAT content of the file. These tests will identify different types of error that can then be reviewed and corrected before sending the file through to the tax authorities. Once we have generated this initial report, we will review this on a line-by-line basis to assess each of the errors identified in the system. This assessment will enable us to identify the nature of the risk that results from such an error and concrete recommendations to correct the error or minimise the risk. These findings and recommendations comprise the assessment report, which will be discussed during the debriefing. So let's now take a look at the assessment report. The assessment report is an Excel file allowing you to navigate from the overview of the test observations down to the various detail of errors and warnings. The menu will provide summary information about the FAIA file, and the sheet Tests Overview will indicate whether errors or warnings have been found during the testing. Hyperlinks are included to easily access the breakdown of the errors identified and then to the further detail beyond. So let's take the example of test A32. This enables us to check whether the same product has been sold to the same customer with different VAT rates. In this case, there are 78 instances where a customer has been sold the same product but at different VAT rates, and the hyperlinks will enable us to assess further these warnings and provide you with recommendations to amend the FAIA file as needed if the treatment applied is not justified. So I guess the bottom line is this: the report will enable you to take business decisions about what you will correct and how you will do it. So let's quickly summarise the key points of a value proposition. We take a pragmatic and intuitive approach in order to give you recommendations that you can really use. By using those recommendations, you can easily review the data generated from your information system, even when it comprises thousands and thousands of lines and fields. By doing this, you minimise the risk of challenge or questions raised by the authorities, which might arise otherwise from non-compliant or incoherent data. So why not let's take this opportunity to meet and to talk some more about these services and how they can benefit your business today.